Hey everybody, Coaster Brian here today, looking at another Hot Toys video unboxing figure review. First and foremost, you can see I have a different camera. I got a different phone that has a much more advanced camera with some different options, so I'm able to give you, hopefully, some better angles when we look at our future figure reviews. Here, very clearly, we're taking a look at the Age of Ultron Vision Hot Toys 1/6 scale figure. This is the MMS296, as you can kind of see right there. Again, this figure came out for Avengers Age of Ultron, which at this point is kind of an older Marvel movie. So some of the styles of this figure is not the same as some of the modern releases today. This is a slipcover box. On the inside, we would have, of course, the figure. You can see some of the accessories, the display window. Again, same kind of a deal. You usually would see the people involved with the figure and so on. All right, so next what we're going to do, I'm going to bring the figure up on here, take out all these accessories, and then we'll take a much better look at everything with this figure. So see you in a second. All right, welcome back. Everything here you see are all the accessories this figure comes with. Of course, you can kind of have a sneak peek right there of the Vision figure. But first, let's take a look at the instruction sheet. I'm kind of panning out a little bit here. Like always, when you get a Hot Toy figure, please look at the instructions. So as you can see, for A, it shows you the range of the head movement, how you can hold Mjolnir, as you know from the film Age of Ultron, the information for the figure stand, and some other extra cautions for the outfit, and so on. So coming back in. So again, the figure doesn't come with much. Starting out very easily, we have our extra wrist pegs. And of course, with the wrist pegs, if I can get it to focus here, with the wrist pegs, it is of the skin tone for Vision. All right. Now we have our extra hands. So here, he has a total of 8 pairs of hands, 2 relaxed hands on the figure already. Starting out, we have 2 of the, I guess, your Mjolnir holding hands, or just your grabbing hands, your closed fist hands, and your kind of open, maybe kind of, I don't want to say repulsor hands, but your kind of maybe flight hands. Actually, using one of these hands, let's take a closer look at the paint for this. Let's get a focus. There we go. So you can see here, I know some of the people online kind of say maybe the detail in the paint isn't so great compared to today's standards, but in all honesty, with Vision, being that I believe he's called a synthezoid, right? Kind of an android kind of a being. I don't expect much skin speckling. You know, we know his skin is that kind of purple, reddish purple tone. So, I mean, even just getting that vein work, and you can kind of see the bone structure and the wrinkling of the skin and the fingernail detail. I mean, I think that's the best that they could do, even on the inside of the palm, the skin lines. I think it's great. It's exactly what I was expecting. Now, when it comes to the skin color, it is a bit more on the purple side, especially when you compare it to the more recent WandaVision reveal of the Vision figure from WandaVision. I feel like his skin is kind of more on the inside of the color of the hand. It's kind of more of a red. Sorry, my camera doesn't really show you and pick up that detail, but in person, it's more on the red side than the purple, like you would see here. And that's kind of one of the big differences between that future release and this one here. But nonetheless, if you're okay with that kind of purplish, more skin tone, then that's what this one has. But the hand details are all great to me. I see no issues with any of these. Moving these over to the side. Again, this figure does come with Mjolnir, which is one big reason why I got this release compared to waiting for the upcoming WandaVision one. This is die cast, so you can hear. I don't know if that's a good way to. There you go. This is die cast. Great detail on the sides and on the top. I'm trying to get a focus here. There we go. You can see it's. I believe this is the same mold, the same kind of die cast hammer Mjolnir that would have came with the Age of Ultron Thor. It has the plastic handle, great paint apps, has that pleather leather-like kind of wrist handle on the bottom here, that strap. This is a great piece, and again, one of the reasons why I wanted to get this version, because I wanted to use this for some of my other figures in the collection. One other great thing that this one does have to offer is the options for the stand. As you can see here, the stand does come with a adjustable crotch grabber and also has the dynamic kind of flight pole and waist grabber, the clamp. You can see this figure base here in the same style as all of the other Age of Ultron Hot Toys releases. You have the Avengers A, you kind of have the Infinity Stone there. The metal nameplate, I do still have that plastic cover on it. That's why that line here is not a scratch. It's just the plastic cover. This doesn't light up or anything. But you can see it has the two things here, and then of course this peg, this crotch grabbers in two other posts. So I like how you do have the option to get more of your choice, a little forward or a little bit back for the crotch grabber. But then this one here has the 4 pegs that will connect into all of these, and then you have the option to use the dynamic flight pole. For this figure, because of the suit, I'm not going to use this. I tend to not use these anyway for my figures, but I do like how it does give you both choice options for how you want to display the figure. I do wish more of the recent Hot Toys releases had that option. If they were going to give you this, at least maybe give us a crotch grabber as well, for my personal preference at least. All right, moving this back and moving everything off to the side. Now let's take a look at Vision. Okay, so here we do have Vision. Now again, this is, I'll try to give you a quick pan. I do have these in here. I'm going to keep these in here. I'll explain why. Showing you that detail of the suit. Now I do know the suit material on this figure, a lot of people say it's reminiscent of the Man of Steel Superman. Just to show you the cape. And then lifting the cape up, the back of the suit. All right. So also I did get this figure secondhand, so there may be some imperfections on this figure. But first, just zooming in on the head. I'll bring this in. Zooming in on the head. Sorry for my bad lighting. I'm using natural lighting here. I don't have a white light or a light box. I think this head looks fantastic. From some angles, I see Paul Bettany more, especially from this angle. Of course, if you don't know the name Paul Bettany, he is the actor that plays Vision. I think the head, the detail was great. You have that kind of metallic speckling on that kind of grayish, bluish parts of his head. It is a bit shiny. I don't say it's crazy. It's not crazy shiny, but it's a bit shiny. You can even see here there's some more detailing. It's not just a flat texture. There is a little bit of a, I don't want to say a skin texture, but you can kind of see the ripples and the dots in the skin. Also the eyes, if you can look very closely there, they are those robotic eyes that you've seen. Also the Infinity Stone that does not light up. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about that, but I think it doesn't ruin the figure for me. Also with this head sculpt, if you look at the original photos for this Age of Ultron figure, you'll notice that these ear coverings are popping out way more. His mouth is more in a frown. So bear in mind that they did change that sculpt. From what I am led to believe, because of that purple color coming up here. Sorry for my bad lighting as well. Because of that purple color, when I bring him in, sometimes, depending on the angles, you can see him. Sometimes you can't see that Paul Bettany likeness. Again, from the side, I think you can see it. From certain angles, you can. But when you look at him head on, because of that purple paint, sometimes the definition, the shape of, like, for example, here, his lips, you lose it because of all that purple. But I think that's going to be unavoidable with this figure. And I think that's also why the paint is a little bit shiny, is to kind of give you that light reflections better off of the face detail. Pan out a little bit. I'll show you more of the body here. So with this figure, like I mentioned, the suit, the material, a lot of people say it's like the Man of Steel Superman figure. I will say, I feel this figure, the suit material, is a bit delicate. For example, when I first went to the local store here to pick up this figure, when the worker there, the gentleman, was opening up the figure so I could take a look at it and inspect it, when he was trying to lift this plastic clamshell, it actually was a little bit stuck to his pants around this area. As you can see, there's no damage. I didn't have anything happen to it, but it was stuck. That could be, my assumption is, of course, maybe with temperature, age, and just that rubberized material here, it being in that clamshell for so long, it did get stuck. So I have also noticed many photos on here, or many kind of used versions of Vision. The suits have seen better days, and they have rips and tears on the material. So I do know that this figure's material, the suit material, is very delicate. The new WandaVision version coming out, I'm not sure if it's the same material, but just know that I wouldn't say this is the same material as like your Spider-Man Homecoming or Far From Home figures or any kind of the more recent releases. This is very much like a rubberized. The material itself is not. It's a fabric, but the printing is like a rubber, and it can get very delicate, as you see here. All these little kind of ovals. Just be careful. While we are zoomed in, I think the detail on the figure looks great. All these lines, these ridges, are part of the underlying body to give that synthezoid design. You can see here with the abs, they're part of the figure body. You can see them, but they're not crazy pronounced. That's one of the things I'm not too sure why they did with the new released version of the prototype pictures for the WandaVision version of Vision. That's a lot of Vision. I don't know why they did that, because even in the episodes of WandaVision, he isn't so muscular like he's Thor or Captain America or like Superman. There's many shots where you see his body, and he does have muscles, Paul Bettany, but he's not a bodybuilder, and the new figure makes it look like he is. So that may be a change down the road, I don't know, but based on right now what we have to compare them to, I do feel the Age of Ultron body is more accurate to the actual character in the MCU. The arms have a good shape. Again, this is just like a printed detail on the suit. These kind of rubberized texture lines. You have that gold here on the waist, more of that rubber. You have the arm gauntlets. They are a separate piece from the hand. Again, I have these on because of that issue I had opening up the figure with it being stuck. So I'm like, maybe I'll just keep these on for now. But a lot of good detail. Looking at the back, again, you have the stitching here. But again, some of that detail wraps around the back. Going down to the legs, again, more of that detail. We have the shin guards on the boots, and the foot itself is our split boot design. So you can get some more posing. Looking at the cape, let's zoom out here. Here we go. Looking at the cape, you can see it gets pretty wide, which is great. The ends of the cape have a wire. The bottom doesn't. I think the detail on this cape is okay. I wouldn't say it's an amazing cape. I don't have many figures that have capes. I only have Thor and the Infinity War Thor and the Ragnarok Loki. And I have the Arkham Knight Batman. That one's a very different cape. But all those capes have a decent amount of weight and they flow pretty well. Now those are either like a fabric or a leather-like cape. I mean, this one, I'm not sure what kind of material the cape is supposed to be within the MCU for Vision. But this cape, it's a bit more rigid than I would like it to be. It's very thin, as you can see. There's not a lot of layering to this. It's just one. I mean, when I move this around, it just feels like one piece of fabric that's, just laid on itself. It's not many layers. So bear that in mind. It's not like it does the job. It comes past the feet, which I believe is what it's supposed to do. So of course, if you have him hovering, it will come below. If you have him on a figure stand, it's not going to touch the bottom. But if you do have him standing on the feet, it's going to start to hit. I think the cape does the job. And the detailing on the cape is great. These areas have like a pinkish color. There is in the yellowish, goldish areas, there is like a shiny speckling to it. It's not just a flat color. It does have, I don't want to say glitter effect, but it has a little bit of a sheen to it, which I think is great. But I wish it had a little bit more weight to it to make it look like it flows a bit better, but it doesn't, and it's okay, but it gets the job done. So now, coming back in, again, very quickly, because as I record this video, I have seen, as I mentioned already, the newer prototype pictures for the WandaVision version of Vision. And I do believe in the newer version, the skin tone is a bit more accurate. It has more of that red color. This is more like, I guess, magenta. I'm not the best with my colors. I want to say magenta. It's more on the purple side than that red. So bear that in mind if you're going to get this figure. But I do believe the body is way more accurate than the new one that was just shown. Hopefully they do change that. But if they don't, I mean, it still looks great. But if you're looking for accuracy, the body on this version is the better one. Now, going over articulation. Now, as I said, I've experienced some very worrying moments with this figure and the suit material, so I'm definitely not going to push the range on this figure. I do plan on keeping him in a museum pose. So I'll try to do my best to show you the kind of range that he has, but I want to make sure I preserve the suit as much as possible. So when it comes to his head, as you saw in the instruction sheet here, he does not have a lot of up and down motion. He has some side to side. It's a bit tight, which I guess is a good thing. And of course, your swivel. Now, if you look at the neck, you can see underneath that jowl area and in the back of the head, there's not a lot of spacing. And that is why you can't get a lot of up and down, especially the down. This neck part, from my experience, it does not move. You can squeeze it a little bit. It has a little bit of, it moves a little bit, but it's not like a soft rubber, like a skin rubber. The neck is not going to give you any more articulation. It's just purely in the head and the joint underneath here. So you don't get a lot of range with the head. Now with the arms, of course, with the whole body, all of your articulation is going to be limited per the suit. So using this arm here, going out, it can go out pretty far. It's where I'm going to be comfortable moving it. As you can see, the suit starts to bunch in on itself there. There is no, it may just be tight, but I don't really feel much of a butterfly joint. It does have an upper bicep swivel. It does have a double elbow bend, but I don't want to push it too much. And then, of course, again, let's just show you here the double. There we go. And then fixing the suit there. Again, the joints may grab onto the suit and it could damage it, so be careful. And your wrists have your typical, again, the normal kind of wrist articulation. You may be hindered a little bit depending on the gauntlet, but it does move. So if you want to get more range, just lift the gauntlet up and you can go ahead and do that. Now the upper body, it has two different joints. It has kind of the upper abdominal crunch and a lower one. Now I'm going to be very gentle here, but the upper one, as you can see, you can tell by the suit, it bends there. And then the lower one bends also a little bit. Could you get more out of it? Probably. I don't want to push it. Now your swivels, of course, you can rock back and forth here. Get a lot of range there, which is great. You can also swivel a little bit at the upper portion and swivel at the bottom, and you can get not so much rocking at the bottom. But the swivel is going to be really limited to the suit. It's all one solid suit, so bear that in mind. Coming closer here for the legs. When it comes to doing the splits, I'll show you here to give you more of an idea of the movement. That's about it until it starts to feel really tight. Maybe it's the joints being tight, or maybe it's the suit. I'm not sure. I don't want to push it, but you're probably not going to get him doing a lot of gymnastic poses in the suit here. The upper thigh swivel you have, it can go forward a decent amount. You probably can go a little bit more, but I don't want to push it. And then back a decent amount too. But again, the suit's going to start to bunch up, especially you can kind of see here the lines already happening. I don't mind those lines, but I don't want any wrinkling personally. The double jointed knees, I'm not going to go too much, but they do exist. There you can go all the way, but you got to be worried about the suit grabbing onto itself and getting stuck on itself. Again, the foot, it's a split cut. It's a ball joint, so you have a decent range of motion if you get stuck. These shin guards feel pretty rigid on the foot. I don't know if you'll be able to move this up and down to get more of a range. These feel pretty tight, so I think these are going to be where they are. So that, I believe, covers all the articulations. So that is all. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll probably be releasing more figure reviews because of, obviously, the current climate with the world today. Please leave a like. Please subscribe if you can. It does help me. It does go a long way for me to know you are interested in seeing my videos. And please leave a comment down below what you think with this Vision or the new one coming out. And I look forward to bringing you my next video. So thank you very much again for watching. Please stay safe, and I will see you then. So bye-bye.